If only a lot of people knew about these simple skills or these simple steps in order to be influential or making more friends. So today I'll be talking about some skills or some techniques that I've used in daily life in order to influence or make new friends, or when I'm in a social gathering or if I'm seeing someone for the first time. That's how I use these techniques or these skills that I've learned over time to make friends. And using these techniques and these skills can actually help you and benefit you in the long term. And you can easily start making friends, or you can start attracting people like a magnet in social gatherings. It could be at the gym, it could be at your workplace, it could be at the library or at school or any place. And I don't want to be like these Instagram models or using like flashy stuff. For me, it's just like these are the skills that help me out in daily life, and you can see in my vlogs. Just like an average Joe life, when these are like the skills I usually use to make new friends. The skill number one would be never condemn, criticize, or pass judgment on other people. And when I say that, it comes down to, for example, for instance, you're seeing someone for or meeting someone for the first time, and what you're trying to do is that you start criticizing others, you start passing judgments on others, or if someone does something and you try to judge them on that mistake. And this is what happens. This is like basic human psychology. When you start talking, when you start talking shit, just like simple words, if you talk shit on someone else's back, behind someone else's back, and the person that you're with right now, what they're gonna think that if you're gonna talk shit about another person in this moment, so what's gonna stop you from talking shit about him or her when she or he is not around? So that's like red flag number one. You don't want to talk shit about someone else. If someone says, let's just say, oh, what's your opinion of this person? Let's just say it's a controversial person, or in that community. Instead of saying that, oh, yeah, he's a shitty person, just be like, I'm not really aware of the situation, but here's what I heard. But don't pass your judgment, criticism on another person. And this is something that Dale Carnegie mentioned in his book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. He says that any fool can criticize, condemn, and complain, and most fools do, but it takes character and self control to be understanding and forgiving. And he also mentions Abraham Lincoln in his book. He says, judge not that ye be not judged. And also, Lincoln had a whole lot of reasons to judge other people, but he never said, like, don't criticize them. They're just that we would be under similar circumstances. And that makes sense because certain times we try to judge someone and judge them as an outsider. And I'm going to give you a small example. There was this guy that I knew at the gym, and he always had this very bipolarish kind of behavior, like going to the gym on and off, on and off. And I never understood him. And then just recently found out, because my first instinct was like, oh, what kind of person he is. Like, he's not like consistent, or he's not true to his word. And then I realized that this guy was battling cancer this whole time, and I was so wrong about that. And it kind of like gave me a moment of reflection and thinking about it, that okay, it's easy to pass your judgment on someone else while not understanding their circumstances and not living in their shoes. And the technique or rule number two is that always try to give people genuine appreciation and offer kind words. Like, we always like nourish people's um, children or their physicality, but how often do we actually nourish their self-esteem? For example, I could say there are certain times when I'm at the gym, when I see someone, a guy or a girl, the first thing I do is that I always compliment them if they're working on their physique, or even if it's, let's just say, a person who is obese, who's overweight. Like, there's this guy who comes to the gym consistently, and when I saw him one day, I was like, hey man, I've been seeing you for a long time here, and you've changed a lot, and you've lost a lot of weight. instantly he started smiling. Because this is like, because compliments, it's like gift. When you give compliments, make sure it's sincere and it comes from heart and you actually mean it. Because also when it comes to communication, it's um, 30% words and 70% how you deliver it, how you say that to person. Is there conviction in your voice? So when you say that, be sincere about your kind words and your appreciation and your compliments. Same thing goes with the girls. When you see a girl, they're working on them. Of course, if you want to like flirt with the girl, this is also a good way to start a conversation for the boys. So you can say that, oh, you're actually looking amazing. Or if they're working or they're lifting weights, be like, oh, you're a very strong person, good for you. They're gonna love that. And that what does, when you give someone a compliment, especially let's just say you are a person who looks intimidating, or you have this always resting bitch face, that you have this non-approachable face that no one wants to talk to you. What you can do is that when people get intimidated by that, and what you can do is that when you start talking to them, you can actually start smiling, be like, hey, how's it going, and then ask about their day, and then you start giving them appreciation, showing appreciation, complimenting them. Then what it does is that the person who feels intimidated by you, all of a sudden they actually let their guard down. They're like, oh damn, okay, so this person is not intimidating. He's just another person. He's very sweet and nice. And that's something I experienced with one of my friends. One of my friends, uh he's a big dude. I call him my sensei. He's a big dude. He's 240 pounds, jacked, 6'3", uh, jacked dude. And when I saw him, I was like, damn, this guy looks dangerous. He is a very strong dude, by the way. But when I started talking to him, he's like, "Oh, guy's a teddy bear." In reality, he's so nice. So sometimes what you can do is that when you start actually offering people kind words and show appreciation and compliment them, what it does is that it brings their guard down. So instead of being defensive, they're actually like, okay, so we're chill. So yeah, so that's tip number two. And also another thing is that you can use this as a very small example, like using the word thank you for someone. For example, when your mom cooks something for you, if she cooks something, compliment that. Be like, you know what, that's actually very delicious. Oh, I love the food you cook, mom. And she actually gets happy. And same thing with my mom. When I say like, oh, that actually tastes amazing, or like when you make food, like that's impossible for you to make food and it's not delicious. And she actually gets happy by that. And you can use that in your daily life. And technique number three is always appeal to people's self interest. I know this sounds complicated sometimes because, like, human nature, the way it is we usually tend to base our relationships in a transactional way, whether if it's an intimate relationship or it's a friendship that you have with your boy, or let's just say if you're a girl, if you're having a relation with one of your girlfriends or your guy friends, it's all transactional because relationships are a two-way street. You do this for me and I do this for you. So the same thing, this is also something talked about on the 48 laws of power, law 13 of Robert Greene, talks about always appeal to people's self-interest, not to their mercy. Because what he means by that is when you're offering, when you want someone to do you a favor, you have to offer it in a way that it's their self-interest is also involved in that favor. And it's also on Dale Carnegie's book, How to Influence People and Win Friends. There's a quote that it says, tomorrow you may want to persuade someone to do something. Before you speak, pause and ask yourself, how can I make this person want to do it? He also mentions a quote from Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Cars. He says, if there's any one secret of success, it lies in the ability to get the other person's point of view and see things from that person's angle as well as from your own. So this is something like it's been used in marketing because like if you're a business owner and if you want to offer your service, or let's just say you have a product you want to offer to the market, you have to see like what's something that people need. Like, what's the scarcity there? Like, what's scarce, and what is the demand out there? What the customers are looking for? You have to look at the customer behavior, what they want from you. So that's how you manufacture your product. So that was the philosophy of Henry Ford. So what you can do, you can actually use the same law in your daily life. What you can do, I'm going to give you like a very small example. You're going out with your friend, or you want to go to this hike, and you don't want to go by yourself. You want to ask a friend, but how? Why would that friend go with you to that hike in the first place? So when you call them, you approach them, be like, "Hey, I'm going to this hike trail," and he's like, "Oh man, you know what? I'm kind of busy." And then be like, "You know what? At the end, I'll buy you food." It's bribery, but like it works because like you're appealing to their self interest. It's like, okay, you go to this hike with me, and I'm gonna buy you food for free. And he's gonna be like, okay, let's go. Or I can give you another example. For when you're a kid and you're in school and you want something from your parents, you're like, Dad, I want this. I want this new laptop or this new video game or a new PC. And then your dad is like, if you bring good grades, then yeah, I can buy you that. So what you do is that you go to him instead of like saying I want this, and then you can instead you can offer that, hey dad, if I bring good grades this semester, would you buy me this new PC? And your dad is gonna be like, yeah, I'll reward you with that because you're appealing to their self interest. Because that's what for parents bringing good grades, it's a pride moment. It's also a proud moment. They take pride in that, and they feel proud when they tell others that, especially when you're a Middle Eastern kid, when they tell other people that yes, my kid did amazing in school. So this is like a uh, quid pro quo. I do this for you, you do this for me. So you are appealing to other people's self interest. So if you use all of these techniques, if you use this in daily life, and I promise you, you come across anyone, you're gonna start making friends very easily. All right. So again, just like always, I'm gonna say is that have pride, be arrogant while being confident and humble in your character. All right.